Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. Thanks again for the support on the Sunday shout out. And now on the Heroes in My City. Today, I got another special guest, but most of you may know him as two-time Coach of the Year, three-time state champion, Florida Dairy Coach of the Year. So
yes,
I introduce to you Coach Cilk McSweeney.
Wow. I'm joking. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's an honor. Maybe I could share some things that, with my story, that can unlock different potential in your story.
That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of y'all may know I was a model for about 34 minutes, and my first agent.
It ain't over yet.
My first agent was this guy. Just so we know that the first company I signed with. I remember those days, man.
Yeah.
All right, but back to the topic at hand. So I remember you after your sophomore season, or going into your sophomore season.
Yeah.
I think that would have been my first year there.
Yes.
And that summer, you just had a tremendous summer.
Yeah.
Like something just turned on. What was it for you that summer that made everything just click?
Man, and the crazy thing is, I tell a lot of our athletes, whether it's in camp or my players and stuff, I tell them, because Mark Wilson wrote something in the program that I always kept. It said, out of all his 20-something years of him coaching, he'd never seen somebody like, as far as having the type of off season that I had. But the biggest thing that I think that was a difference was I did it on my own. And when I say that is, I ran the bleachers on my own. I didn't have a coach telling me, hey, do this, do that. I did my weights with a workout partner. Sometimes I did it on my own, but a lot of push-ups and stuff. Did my ball handling stuff on my own. I had like 3 a days. I was going like 3 a days. And all of the workouts was on my own.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell these kids. You guys need to be in a gym. You guys need to have a trainer. You guys need to have all this. But true growth happens if you can be passionate and do it on your own. Now I didn't understand it at the time, but now I understand it here. God opens up so many doors, and He could put you in a door and open it without no man.
Yeah.
And so I realize that now, because I actually wrote a book, From the Pit to the Palace, and that was one
Great
of my life-changing stories where God really showed me, like, dang, I could pave a way for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just continue doing what I'm asking.
Just put the work in.
Just put the work in. You know what I'm saying? And faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
And so that kind of was a big turning point for me, as far as just confidence and things like that, and just playing with better players. And I enjoyed playing with you, because you're a great teammate. You're always a great teammate, and you don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was a young kid and stuff, and you were cool with my brother, being in his class and stuff. But it was like you, like Brandon, like Leonard Black,
Big Black,
Didi, like all you guys were great teammates. You know what I mean? So, but no, I remember those times, man.
Because you came back to school, I ain't gonna put you out there, but you came back to school with the jacket zipped down, no shirt on, none of that. You was doing that every day. That was the style. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna put him out there too bad.
No, that was funny, but but it's a testament, man, if you really put in that work. So that's what I kind of try to instill in our guys. And I think that's how we change the culture here at Calvary. As far as, because we were getting beat bad, man, when we first started, and but we just had to continue working and making it a year-round thing. Like for the guys who wanted to, that wasn't multi-sport athletes. Just, hey, if you really want to be good, you got to put the time in.
Got to.
And so I think that's kind of what changed, because the kids that were here got better. New kids came in, they were getting better, and then you just had coaches that they see that really wanted to help them develop and just get better. You know what I mean?
Now, you mentioned coaches just then, and one thing people notice when they see Calvary is coaches.
Yeah.
How important do you think it was to bring all your coaches with you?
Man, I think it's very important. I mean, a lot of people see that we have 9 I have 8 assistants and obviously me, so it's a 9 coaching staff. But everyone has their role, you know. And the biggest thing that I talk to parents about is that all at least 7 or 8 of them are entrepreneurs. And so it's bigger than basketball. We're not trying to attach ourselves to any kids because we're trying to get to the next level or trying to attach ourselves to a kid to get more clout and things like that. It's to actually help them be a better player and a person off the floor.
Yeah.
And being a better player and person off the floor is unlocking different gifts and talents that they have within inside that they might not know what they have. But one thing we did want to do was establish this the way we experienced it in college, you know, and or close to it, because it's impossible to mirror it, but close to it as far as what we seen in college on a high level professionally. We just wanted to do it here, you know, and it was a year-round program. A lot of kids end up quitting, you know, along the way, but we got the kids to buy in. Now we're here, and then new kids started seeing us around the county and the community, and like, hey man, we like what they're doing.
Doing the right thing over there.
And then as the years came by, things started turning around. You know, so to the point where by that 4th season we ended up winning a state championship.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. So then that was our first one, and now that was kind of like, man, we were able to achieve that. Within our 4th season.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, the sky's the limit.
Definitely.
You know, and so we always had our goals to being one of the best teams in the country. You know, and people thought we were crazy. Yeah. But what we're seeing now is the exact vision that we always had. You know, and God chose us for this. You know what I mean? So it was an awesome opportunity to be able to get to this place. You know? So
for me, I thought I was doing it right for a long time. And I got some advice from a teacher one day, and it totally changed my mindset on coaching. What is that one thing that you kind of harp on personally to make you the coach that you are today?
Biggest thing is, look, everybody I know that comes to this program, I understand is by design. It's by having the mindset of it's by design. The biggest thing is you got to treat people as far as, man, to help unlock what they're going to go through in the next steps. And we basically been through everything they've been through as an athlete, you know, and trying to make it to the next level, being a student, having a mom and a dad and stuff like that. So we're here to help them navigate through life, you know. And so if we're upset and we're responding to the current circumstance of coaching and us losing and you're not doing this right and stuff like that, it's all right. There's a time and place, but you got to always find ways to be able to impart into them. You know what I mean? And so that's what I think we do a lot of, where we'll have all the guys in here sitting down watching film. Sometimes we may just be talking for 30 minutes. You know, like there are some times where we have a chance to knock off the #1 team in the country. And we're sitting here talking. You know what I'm saying? And just sharing moments and laughing and joking and stuff. And sometimes you need that. You don't need to hammer things home every single time, get on them with film and stuff like that. And so I think through the years we've done a good job with that. As far as having a good time with them and having an open door policy to be able for them to share things that are going on in their life that they may not want to share with their parents, you know. And so we're kind of like a little bridge for them, you know. And so I think we take that into consideration a lot, man, and we kind of hang on to that as we're coaching. And I always remind our coaches, like, hey, we're here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? We're here for a reason. Like, even when we're frustrated, we're here for a reason. And so, and that kind of reminds myself, like, and just that's what we just hang on to. You know what I mean? But the biggest thing is how can we become one, you know, and so each year that's our challenge, you know, and so what we do is we try to do outreaches, you know, whether we're serving the community, serving homeless people, helping single mothers with shared in house. Calvary always have different outreach opportunities, and so we're always trying to help do different things to help them take their minds off themselves. The more times you can take their minds off themselves, the more times they can, when we're talking about being a team, celebrating other success, because somebody else being successful is not taking anything from you. And so the better the team does, the more the accolades and stuff individual have. And so once somebody starts or individual starts to see those type of things, and they really buy into that,
Yeah.
man, I've seen it year after year. Great things happen to them. Scholarship opportunities, rankings, like just unlimited success that comes just from you. And it's a God thing, you know.
It is.
The more blessings and the more love you give away, you know that you're going to reciprocate.
Come pouring in.
Yep, you're going to reciprocate the same thing. And so if we can show what you reap is what you sow, you know, in every avenue, it's not just money. People think it's just money, but if you reap what you sow, as far as, hey, I'm going to get this guy involved, get him active in the game, that guy's going to be more willing to, hey, I want to get this guy easier shot. You know, like, and the more that you can show that, man, what you reap is what you sow. You know, and so that's like the biggest thing. So I think understanding people, having great relationships has made me successful today, because it's all about having a common ground, getting a kid to play as hard as he can for you, knowing that you love him. You know what I'm saying? That's the key thing, you know, because the better he plays, the better your team's going to be. And then parents, having them trust you. You know, like in 9 years of me being here, I've probably had 3 kids leave, you know? Like 3 kids leaving that, and
in this time, and how kids bounce from school to school,
you might have 3 in 1 year
easily.
But the biggest thing that I would want to leave you guys with is a couple things. God is obviously shining on what we're doing now, and our hands are blessed and things like that. But the biggest thing is my prayer life, you know, and so as I go through each day, I'm always constantly praying, because there's always somebody that God wants to put me, whether I'm playing in an ESPN game in Massachusetts, or I'm playing in a tournament in Arizona. I know that God, and it always happens, God puts me in pathways to different people, whether it's an airport, in the gym, and I'm always trying to find opportunities to really be a blessing to other people, just to impart into their life, maybe minister a word. And God may, as I pray constantly, I hear God a little easier, because it's about developing a relationship with Him. And so that's what I want to encourage you guys to do. Just develop your own personal relationship with God, and that's going to be through prayer. The same way me and Greg are talking, God desires to really speak to you guys and talk to you guys and just have intimacy with you. And so as I go throughout my days, I'm always looking for opportunities to be a blessing to somebody. And the more I advance in my career or the giftings that He gave me, it's just opportunities for me to just share His love, you know, and the more and more kids and families that come into here, it's opportunities for me to share these things with them, for them to bring into their community. So the Pompano kids, a lot of their Lakes kids, the Wellington kids, the West Palm Beach kids, wherever, Miami kids, we get these kids from Tri-County areas, is opportunities for them, for us to impart into them, for them to be a blessing in their community. And so don't worry about a paycheck. The paycheck's gonna always come, you know, but just worry about developing your relationship with God. That's the first thing. The second thing, we're rolling into summer. So if you have a kid that wants to be coached by a great coaching staff and players that are my former players and are going to be here right at Calvary in a safe confine, we'll be able to help teach them, impart, and just share stories and stuff and help them become a better player, whether it's they want to be the next LeBron James or whether they just want to get in shape. Bring them by. Greg always sends kids my way. Thank you. It was a pleasure and opportunity to be here and to share my story.
Well, I think we could, as y'all could see, we could probably sit here and talk all day, but at some point we gotta round it off. But I had a great conversation. I really enjoyed myself. I really appreciate my brother for letting me come into the Lion's Den and sit down for a minute with him.
Yes, sir. Eagle's Nest, the Eagle's Nest.
My fault. In the Eagle's Nest. Let me come into the Eagle's Nest.
Yeah.
And had this great conversation. Thank you all for supporting once again. He is a hero in my city. As you can see through this conversation, why I would consider him to be a hero personally, and I appreciate him for that. And it's a hero in your city too. So don't be afraid to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.